two teams on opposite ends of the standings waged in a titanic battle last Sunday. Their strength, their perseverance, and their will were tested to the limit. And now the Mono Vampire Basketball Club have one more win. They can enter the semifinals, but if the Formosa Dreamers have anything to say about it, they'll do it all to force a deciding Game 3. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yoyo Sarmenta, and joining me today is Sajatam TK Kosambun. And TK, will we see the number 8 seed winning against the number 1 team and force it and enter the semifinals?
Yeah, well, what we know from the Mono Vampires is that this was a different team from how they started throughout the season, and them coming in as an 8 seed, the Dreamers were prepared that this is not the same team that they faced twice earlier in the season. They came prepared for it. We saw that they came prepared for it, and it was a really, really good game up until the end, a very close game, and we're expecting to see that kind of atmosphere here again in Thailand.
And Game 1 of their quarterfinals matchup, it was an 83-80 road victory by Mono. And TK, the big storyline of that game were two Malcolms were missing. Malcolm Miller for Formosa and Malcolm White for Mono.
Yeah, Malcolm Miller, he's a scorer, he's a shooter, but an underrated part of his game is how he also helps to set up the offense for the Dreamers as well. On the other side, Malcolm White, he was the rebounder for the Mono Vampire, but they were able to substitute that kind of production from Romeo Travis and other guys, and the Mono Vampire were just able to overcome that loss better than the Dreamers.
Will this be the last game of the Formosa Dreamers? We will be right with you, and we will check in after the player introductions.
And now, let me introduce for the team Formosa Dreamers. And first, player number 1, Tian Lei. Number 14, Woo Yong-sun. Number 7, Zhang Gang-yu. Number 8, Zheng Wei. Number 9, Shen Shinian. Number 10, Shai Wei. Number 23, Kenneth Chen. Number 30, Woo Song Wei. Number 31, William Adino. Number 32, Shai Zhenxian. Number 33, Malcolm Miller. And number 40, Tevin Klars. And head coach, Mr. D. Murray. And now, let me introduce you for the team. Mono Vampire Basketball Club!
Step back, no foul. Alab ties it up with that big shot.
First, number 13. Chanachon Plahan. Number 79, Titapon Towe Roy. Number 33, Nopon Sang Tong. Number 36, Sorot Suntan Siri. Number 65, Tirawatan Tajon. Number 69, Darongpan Apiro Wilai Shai. Number 77, Shichai Ananti. Number 11, Morsen Morgan. Number 22, Federly Shines. Player number 1, Malcolm White. Number 24, Romeo Travis. And number 7, Michael Secretary. Head coach, Mr. Tongkiat Singha Seni. ขอเสียงปรบมือดังๆให้กับ Mono Vampire ด้วยค่ะ
Welcome back to a jam-packed, very excited, very animated Stadium 29. As we take a look at the matchups of today's game, Freddie Lish versus Jeff Wu, who had a very good game one.
Yeah, both of these guys were X factors in that previous game. Jeff Wu with a great first quarter for the Formosa Dreamers, and Freddie Lish, he came up with big plays both down the stretch of the halftime break and towards the end of the game as well.
So as you see on your screens, a lot of interesting matchups today. And you saw on your screens earlier, Tyler Lamb versus Kenny Shem, but Tyler Lamb won't be available today. And what kind of impact will that bring to this Mono team, TK?
Well, as we saw in that last game, in the first half, Tyler Lamb already with 10 plus points, a lot of threes, and that was something that was able to stretch out the floor for the Mono Vampire, and that got their offense going. They were able to move the ball a lot better with Tyler Lamb on the floor. He got injured towards the end of the third quarter, and that really slowed things down. We could see there at the end, in the final interval, that the offense was running a little bit stale, but in the end they got the win still. But this is good. That's a big inclusion for this game that Tyler Lamb is not available.
But for Formosa Dreamers, you see in your starting lineups, Malcolm Miller is back after his one-game suspension. As we take a look at Coach Dean Murray, Malcolm Miller acquired 5 technical fouls in the regular season. That's why he was out in game number 1. And for Mono Vampire, Malcolm White will also be returning after his one-game suspension. TK, Moses Morgan will be in the starting lineup in replace of Tyler Lamb, and what can he bring to the table?
Well, Moses Morgan, he's been a hard-nosed worker throughout the entire season. Yes, his offense, his efficiency in scoring has dropped down, but he's a guy that's really put his work to play on the defensive side of the floor as well. He's got a good size to cover positions from the 2 to the 4, and maybe down to the 5 even sometimes, and he's a valuable player on that side of the floor. It's a good opportunity for Coach Thong to put him into the starting lineup and see how he matches up against either Glass or Miller, or maybe sometimes even Will Artino.
And Moses Morgan, lest we forget, he is a former Heritage import. As we take a look at Tyler Lamb, Tyler Lamb scored 17 points, 3 out of 6 from downtown. And as we said, TK, he suffered a hamstring injury towards the latter part of the third quarter. We wish him well and a speedy recovery.
Yeah, it didn't look that serious. He was able to walk off the court on his own. As you can see right here, he's standing, he's not limping around. So maybe it's just a bit of a precaution to keep him healthy if they are able to advance in the next round, or maybe even when they return to game 3 to seal the deal there instead for the Mono Vampire.
TK, obviously the backs are against the wall if you're talking about the Dreamers. What kind of mentality or mindset do you need to have in a very hostile environment such as here in Thailand?
Well, the Dreamers, you gotta hold your head up high that you're the number 1 seed. You are the regular season champions of the ASEAN Basketball League. You can't let that that's something that you have to own up to. You have to have that confidence coming into this game that you were the best throughout the entire season. You guys got to hang on to that and don't let anything else get to you to rattle you. Just play your game and how you were able to win 19 games this season.
And folks, if Mono goes on to win today, it will be the first time that a lower seeded team will move on to the semis ever since we took on the quarterfinals format last year.
Yeah, and the Mono Vampire, they've been doing this ever since last season. They came in as a lower seed, but they were able to make it all the way to the finals. Took down Chongsun Kung Fu, who are now the Macau Black Bears. They were the first team to beat Chongsun in their home court. So they're used to this kind of underdog rally. They thrive in that kind of environment. And let's see if they can finish the deal here in this game.
And we are just about to start. Game number 2 is underway here in Thailand. And the possession will belong to the Formosa Dreamers. Here's Miller, who was out for game 1, takes the first shot of game 2 and knocks it down right away. Miller gets a shot up.
And that's an important basket for the Dreamers as well, to know that your star scorer is coming into this game with an aggressive mentality and just ready to pick up from where he left off before the suspension.
Miller, of course, was the leading scorer of the Dreamers, about 22 a game. And on the other end, it's Malcolm White's turn. So the two players who were out for game one immediately making their presence felt here in the early goings.
Yeah, and I like how both teams went straight to those two players to make a statement.
And that's very important, you know, get your world import back into the mix early on. Kenny Chen knocks it down from deep.
And Kenny Chen, that was an aspect that the Dreamers were missing from him, the long-range shooting. He was still aggressive attacking the basket on penetrations, but that's something that's really picking up and they need in this game.
TK, in game one, it was a close game, but is there any stat or anything that stood out from either squad as Lish knocks it down from deep? Go ahead, TK.
Yeah, for the Mono Vampire, they had 30 fast break points, and that is the biggest stat of the game. They just ran it out in the second quarter. That's what kept them in the game and set them up for the rally at the end. And here, they're so terrifying when they're creating turnover situations, but when the Dreamers are shooting like this, that's what's going to be key for the Dreamers if they want to win this game.
So back and forth right away in the first 2 minutes, not 8:13 remaining in the first. Morgan, straight away three!
Just both teams on fire to start here, and that's a good shot by Moses Morgan to get his confidence up. He missed those early in the game.
Yes, the answer. Short, Artino, rebound, spin. Miller is fouled by Singletary. So, yes, to your point, TK, those fast break points really killed the Dreamers. 30 points for Mono and only 6 for Formosa.
Yeah, and also you saw that earlier, just a minute earlier, the Dreamers were forced into a turnover on their side of the court and got a wide open shot for Freddie Lish. Thankfully, he didn't make it for the Dreamers, but those are situations that you don't want. Dean Murray does not want his team to commit, because the Vampire, once they get that going, their offense just blows away, and it's hard to recover from that.
Here's Chen. Martino thought about three. And fouled by Singletary. Is that his second? Another foul by Singletary.
That's going to be a big deal if it is second. We'll check the official count. Yes, it should be his second. The first one was on him, on Malcolm Miller.
Yeah.
That's definitely on him, as he's
so back-to-back fouls. And, you know, immediately right after he got his second, he looked at the bench and said, I'm okay, I'm good. So he will stay on the floor. Missed by the Dreamers. Rebound White.
Yeah, the Dreamers were a bit slow to move the ball around. That's what sort of killed them towards the end of the last game. They just got to have some better ball movement.
And that's when you miss Malcolm Miller. Whatever go-to guy can play. Oh, but the three. Singletary, after getting 2 fouls, he said, I'm going to stay in the game and knock down this three.
And it pays off for not subbing him out right there.
Miller against Morgan. Artino, left-handed shot, does not go. Lish pushing the pace. Singletary, can he go back-to-back? No, rebound Artino.
Singletary, though, didn't hit a 3 in the previous game, but he's starting out with confidence here. He wins the first one. And this is his home court. He makes so many here. Just let him fire away.
Singletary is a returning import. He helped Mono help his team go all the way to the finals last season, but losing to the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Yeah, he's the only one in the starting 5 here that was there on the team last season. One of the constant figures on the Mono Vampire Basketball Club.
Miller too strong on the jumper.
And the Dreamers got to watch out for that. They can't just fall into the trap of taking easy and long shots, because the Vampire are a good rebounding team as well.
Travis spins short. Glass wide open.
He's caught asleep there, the Mono Vampire. Malcolm Miller saw that and just asked for the ball to pass it up to Tevin Glass. That's not good defense by the Mono Vampire.
And that's what you miss. Malcolm Miller for the regular season averaged 6 assists per game.
Again, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Malcolm Miller's underrated aspect of the game is how he sets up the offense. We know that he can he can take those threes and make those threes, but he's an underrated passer as well.
Travis, stop and pop. Rebound belongs to Mono. Shot clock down to 10. Oh, it's near steal, but Singletary recovers. Shot clock though does not reset. White has to put it up. He does. Wild shot, asking for a foul. Refs do not give it to him. Past the halfway mark of the first. It's been action-packed so far. Artino spins, gets his own miss. Another try is good.
As you mentioned there, it's been action-packed, but the pace has been pretty slow. The teams are slowly looking for their shots and just waiting down the clock. None of the teams are really going out on the open court yet, and we'll see what the time is for these two teams to pick up the speed, because they're not, especially Mono Vampire, they're not used to playing in this sort of half-court set for most of the game.
Hey, you know they're itching to run. And we will take a quick break. 12 to 11 so far in favor of the Dreamers. 4 and 25 remaining. We will be back. Back inside Stadium 29, this is game number 2. And if there is a deciding free-for-all game number 3, that will happen on April 6th, back in Changhua County Stadium in Taiwan. Mono does not want to go back there, and the Dreamers will need to go back there if they can pull out a victory here. Artino gets the bucket to drop.
Yeah, but two quick, interesting subs here by Coach Dean Murray early. You bring in Cheng Wei and Jeff Wu in for Kenny and Chen Qinyan, and this is a quick way to change up the pace for the Dreamers.
And Jeff Wu had a great first quarter in game number 1. Can he replicate that magic here? White against 3 defenders. No go. Travis also caught in traffic. Shot clock down to, and that is a shot clock violation.
You just gotta love the defense there by the Dreamers, and they kind of trapped Malcolm White there into kind of forcing his way to the basket, burning down seconds, and they know that they can pack it in the paint with Artino, Glass, and Miller down there, and that's what happened. They weren't, and that's 2 straight possessions that they forced into the 24-second violation.
Miller, top of the key to Glass. Decide to take it inside. Oh, nice shot there by Tevin Glass.
And that's a matchup that you want to see Tevin Glass take advantage of. He knows he has that speed advantage over Malcolm White. He took that left and right real quick and got a shot that he loves in that mid-range area.
They swing it over to the other side. Morgan. Bit to the right there for Moses Morgan. So 5-point game for the Dreamers. Can they add on to that lead? Glass bottled up, has to kick it out. Chen. Oh, nice ball movement by the Dreamers. Malcolm Miller swishes the three.
You just gotta love the confidence of the Dreamers moving the ball around. They're trusting their teammates on where they need to be, and that's forced the Mono Vampires in this timeout.
Great patience there by the Dreamers, and now they're up by 7, 18-11, 2:48 remaining in the first. Welcome back to Season 29. So check that. It's a 19-11, not 18-11 in favor of the Dreamers. In that last timeout break. So 19-11. And TK, how are the Dreamers doing this?
Well, the Dreamers, they've been shooting a lot better than they were in the first game. They're already 3 of 7 from the three-point range, and they were 5 of 20, I think, in the last game. And that's the presence of Malcolm Miller and being able to stretch the floor. It's really affected how they moved the ball, as we saw last position as well.
Oh! Malcolm White with the sledgehammer.
Talk about the presence of Malcolm there. Just
right in the grill of Will Artino. Complete with the primal scream. But he is called for the foul there. Tevin Glass with the N1 opportunity.
And the perfect reply by the Formosa Dreamers. They lose on the other end with that emphatic slam dunk, but just a swift and nimble answer on the other end. 2 points. They're also going to get the free throw as well. Malcolm White asking for the push off there. He's not going to get it at this point. He's got to watch out for that. As we mentioned, he collected 5 technical fouls to earn him the suspension in the previous game. He doesn't want to start that up again here in this game.
Actually, we will have to check how many technicals he has. He actually acquired 3 unsportsmanlike fouls. so we don't want any of that technicals or unsportsmanlike fouls. So let's see what the call is after the free throw by Glass.
Seems to be some technical difficulties on the floor. The refs and the scorers table have got to check it out. I'm going to see if they're trying to settle up the scoring differences. As we mentioned before, coming out of the timeout, it was 8-11 to 19. But before the timeout, it was 11 to 18. We'll see how that figures itself out. The players are called back to the floor right now, though, so I think the rest have got it figured.
Of course, we want to make the score right very early on. We don't want that score difference in the latter quarters.
Well, we know this is going to be a close game. We don't want anything else to come in the way of a classic matchup in the playoffs like this. Just let the players play it out and let them decide who's going to be the better team in this game.
So the score right now, 22-13, just under 2 minutes remaining in the first. White, he has been aggressive, and he stays aggressive with that jumper.
Well, yeah, you get tricked by his emphatic dunks like that earlier, but you can't forget that he has that mid-range jumper, and there's one game that against the Hong Kong Eastern basketball team, I think, where he just kept knocking down those mid-range shots, and you can't leave him wide open like that.
And here's Mono running, splitting. Oh, nice feed by Singletary. Oh, denied Artino. Beautiful rejection by Will Artino on Romeo Travis.
Artino, I hope we get a replay. There we see the replay. Nice coming off the weak side by Will Artino. He's making up for lost time. You got to remember at the last time the Formosa Dreamers were here in Stadium 29, Artino was sat for the second half because of food poisoning, and he looks healthy today.
And of course, this best of 3 series really, I guess half of the players in Mono did not play against the Dreamers back in December.
Yeah.
Tyler Lamb, Moses Morgan, Travis.
Practically the whole starting lineup except for Singletary. But that's the beauty of the game, of being able to make changes and coming into the playoffs.
Coming up on a minute remaining in what has been an eventful first quarter. Travis. Oh, he has struggled here in this first quarter. But White, though, he has had an outstanding period.
Again, that soft touch by Malcolm White. Sometimes he goes strong, and once he drops that shoulder into you, you kind of expect him to go all the way. And then he turns around for that little right hook.
Malcolm White averages 18.8 points per game, so he's off to a hot start now. Jumper does not drop for Jeff Wu. Under 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Wu kind of hit those shots in the first quarter last game, but it's not coming for him early here. And he has a tough assignment trying to guard Michael Singletary to end the first quarter.
About a 5-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Travis thought about the three. Singletary takes the three, and he knocks it down from deep. Michael Singletary cuts the lead by Formosa down to 4. Martino could not answer on the other end. And that is how the first quarter will end. Mono with a late run. But the Dreamers are still up by 4, 24-20. This is game number 2 of their quarterfinals matchup. Second quarter in just a bit. Back to ABL playoff action. Travis could not get the jump on the ball. It's 24-20 in favor of the Dreamers. Yo-Yo Sarmenta on the call together with my partner, Sajatan TK Kosambun. And TK, what did you see in that first quarter?
Well, both teams are shooting a lot better from long range than they were last game. That's really opened up the offense, as we see here, 24-20. A little bit higher than the average game, but right now, what I like from the Dreamers is that they're going really deep to the bench, bringing in already 8 to 9 players down their roster.
And Singletary will troop to the line. He has 2 personals, but that has not stopped his aggressiveness. And in that first quarter, Singletary had 6 points, and Malcolm White has 8, including a ferocious dunk over Will Artino. And for the side of Formosa, Miller with 7 and Glass also with 7. And to your point, TK, you think this is a good strategy, going deep to your bench in this playoff atmosphere?
Well, the Mono Vampire, they're taking a huge gamble right now, keeping Michael Singletary on the court. He already has 2 personal fouls, as you mentioned, and with the Dreamers going this deep, one more possession here. If Singletary gets called for a foul, that's a huge call that's going to affect you long term in this game. We're not sure if that's the right move or not, but we'll see.
Chen, jumper, gets his own miss, foul for the rebound, and jump ball, says our referee.
Nice aggressive rebound there by Kenny Chen, just reaching up. He's got to box out a guy like him.
Travis so far 0 out of 5. Struggled so far. Chen has 5 seconds on the shot clock. They go to Glass. Glass, does he know the shot clock? And that is a shot clock violation. Great defense by Travis.
And this is another part that the Formosa Dreamers are missing, is the presence of a floor general that can really manage the time well. Chen Qingyan, of course, an ex-national team player. He's done a great job so far here, but they're really missing Li Shuilin, who is, again, hampered with an ankle injury. And that's a really important part of what they've been missing here in the playoffs.
Oh, White is down. He got bottled up in that last play. Lish and Glass having a friendly conversation.
Freddie Lish is always having a friendly conversation with
everybody.
With everybody. He's just a really nice guy and always enjoying himself on the court. Right there from that recent play, Tevin Glass has got to watch out for bringing the ball up the court. There were a lot of times in the last game where he turned the ball over, penetrating to the basket. He's not, out of the 3 imports on this team, he's not the best of ball handlers, and you got to kind of really reduce the turnovers from those situations. Get the ball to the other guys. You have a bigger role in being a scorer on the team and getting rebounds. Just don't waste your energy doing this stuff where other players could assist you out on.
Tevin Glass had 4 turnovers in game number 1. Here's Miller with the basketball. Oh, he's fouled while taking a 3. That was a silly foul. That is, I believe, against, is that a Nanti?
Yeah, that should be. And that's just poor defensive discipline. He's got to close out faster and not really lean into the shooter like that. That's something that he's got to work out on. He has long arms as well, and he can utilize them more to his advantage instead of that way.
Malcolm Miller gets the first to go. He has 8 points so far. You know, if you're a player who was like Malcolm Miller, got suspended, and now your team is on the brink of elimination, a lot of thoughts are coming into your head. You don't want to be too aggressive, but at the same time, you don't want to be not impact the game.
Well, yeah, again, it comes back down to the team having to realize why they're here in the first place, why they're the #1 seed, what did they do well, and they just got to stick to that. They can't pressure themselves too much. They got to realize that they have that advantage, and if they win this game, they're going back home.
That is exactly what the Dreamers want, a steal. So a full court pressure defense applied, caught Mono off guard. And we will take a quick break as the Dreamers slowly but surely pulling away. Now the lead is 8. A single point so far for Mono. A quick break. We'll be back after this. So this is game number 2 of the Mono Vampire Basketball Club and Formosa Dreamers. Part of a triple header today in the ABL playoff action. Also happening later today, Hong Kong Eastern. 1 win away from eliminating San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. That will happen in just a bit in Hong Kong. Also happening later, Saigon Heat taking on BTN CLS Knights Indonesia. And the Heat are down 0-1. The game will be played in their home court, CIS Arena. So a lot of interesting games today, TK.
Yeah, but right now the Mono Vampire are starting to feel a little bit of the pain of missing out Tyler Lam, another guy to get the ball up the court. As you saw there, just a slight additional pressure to the front court players, and they turn the ball over.
Singletary takes a 3, in and out, and in.
He is on fire tonight already. His 3rd 3 of the game, making up for those misses in game 1.
And credit Singletary, after acquiring 2 quick fouls, stayed in the game, has not gotten his 3rd. Chen airballs the 3.
Yeah, Tian Lei, he's been a bit off his touch lately. He started out with a pretty good early first half of the season, but after an injury, he seems a bit slowed down, not really getting things go his way.
White, double teamed in the post. Travis, they go to Singletary. Can he make another one? Yes, he does! Back-to-back triples for Michael Singletary.
Coach Dean Murray, he's got to talk to his team about that. They were closing out slowly. They were sagging off way too far for a guy who already has 4 3-pointers in this first half of the game.
They double-teamed White, and Mono quickly swung the ball over to Singletary. And a turnover by the Dreamers.
Great pressure there by the Mono Vampire, both on the ball, both on the first pass, forcing Will Argino to have to pass all the way across to the other side of the court, and that's a bad pass any time.
Here's that replay. A little bit too much for Chen. And on the other end, foul by Artino. So a turnover on one end and a foul on the other.
What a swing it's been after 2 threes. Out of the timeout, suddenly the Mono Vampire have taken almost complete control of the momentum of the game.
White, hook shot, good! And we are all tied up, folks. Nanti is on Miller, chasing him down. That's an interesting matchup. Miller nowhere to go. Glass, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Glass, that's his move. Tevin Glass with the jumper.
Finally able to ice the 8-0 run, but that didn't come easy, and Mono Vampire still has a chance to add on to this.
Singletary stays hot. So under 6 minutes remaining. Fireworks here in Stadium 29. Martino denied by Malcolm White with the stare down. Says not in my house.
It was great recovered defense there by Malcolm White. As you see there, just reaching out. That's with his left hand too.
Martino nowhere to go once again. They swing it over to the corner. Martino denied again by Travis this time. Oh, great interior defense by Mono.
Mono taking control of this game.
A great timeout by Mono there. They were down 21-29. Great response from the home team. There you see on your screens Coach Dean Murray.
And he has to really pull something off the swing of the game back to his direction here. Michael Singletary alone has turned this to the orange shirts.
And split second there, that was Coach Tongket Singha Saini, the new head coach. And how do you think the quick coaching change to start the playoffs, what will it do if you're one of the Mono Vampires?
Well, the team has really gone through a lot of changes. They're already used to these kind of drastic changes immediately, and they've been running off. They're a really highly talented team from top to bottom. I think that alone is able to substitute for these changes and just make the transition period a little bit easier. And you got to give some credit to Coach Tong for his ABL experience. He's won an ABL championship back in 2011 with the Shanghai Slammers. He's been there, and he knows what to do and how to let the players feel in their environment and get into their groove.
Travis finally gets one to go. Romeo Travis.
Into the groove indeed. Travis has been struggling. Once they get into the rhythm, the Mono Vampire are a scary team.
The Trap Miller. Artino. Oh, great defense again by White. Ananti. He decides to kick it out. Singletary. Oh, White was here. No call by the referees. Kenny Chen. Oh, met at the rim by Freddie Lish.
And I like that by Kenny Chen. He got a wide open look at the three, but he knew that it's not worth it taking an open shot like that. You just got to take it to the hoop and maybe draw some contact, get a layup, just get something that'll get the momentum back to the Dreamers. He's going to get a chance to go to the line here, and he also gets a foul from the Mono Vampire as well.
Great move by Chen, but I was surprised Freddie Lish went up in the air and met him.
Well, Freddie, he's an underrated athletic guard. Well, not really underrated, but he's a really athletic guard. You can see him hang in the air. He likes to go up, and he likes to prove people wrong as well.
Moses Morgan will check back in, replacing Ananti.
You got to talk about the Mono Vampires defense right now. Like 3 or 4 consecutive possessions, they've been really packing it well in the middle. Malcolm White standing his ground. Romeo and Michael Singletary just flanking on the side, just making it difficult for Artino. And he's been getting open opportunities for Malcolm Miller off the double team, off those pocket passes, but the Mono Vampire front line has just made it so difficult to score down low.
And to your point, TK, Artino is 2 of 9 from the field. So that's a stat telling.
He was 10 for 19 last game, so that's the presence of Malcolm White in the middle.
White, jumper. Could not get it to drop. Artino, will he get this one to go? Still no, 2 for 10 for Artino.
Seemed a little bit rushed for Artino. Didn't really look like his usual shots.
Singletary uses the pick. Ball nearly stolen. Triple team on White. Leaves Singletary open. Could not make the defense pay though.
Still though, Singletary will take those shots. He's been making them. Just one miss is not a bad idea.
Glass. And he will troop to the line to shoot 2. We talked about the Mono defense. If you're the Dreamers, what kind of adjustment or what kind of action do you want to see from the Dreamers on the offensive end?
Well, I want to see the ball move revolved around Malcolm Miller a bit more. I want to see him take some more shots from outside to maybe stretch the floor out a bit. He has that range. Maybe Kenny Chen has got to start taking those shots. Right now they're just pounding it down inside and it's not working. They just got to move around and maybe find a way to get those Travis or get Singletary to stretch out a bit more and force Malcolm White to be down low inside alone.
So again, a huge development for this game. The 2 Malcolms are back in the back in the series. Malcolm White for Mono, Malcolm Miller for the Dreamers. But no Tyler Lamb for Mono, out with a hamstring injury. Singletary goes baseline. He was met by the defense by the Dreamers there.
There's Singletary. I think he felt that the Dreamers were coming out a little bit quicker to him on the perimeter, making a nice aggressive drive. He's one of the best players at drawing fouls in this league, and he's just doing his job right there.
Oh, slip there by Glass. Just a slip. I thought he went down with an injury. Jump ball on the floor. And as you see there, Glass is asking somebody wipe the sweat out here.
Good hustle there by Miller. Seems like it's going to be Mono Vampire ball, however, out of the jump ball call by the refs.
There you see on your screens Coach Tong replacing Coach Douglas Marty at the last minute right before our playoff started.
He doesn't really show emotions during the game, but if you were watching last time at the end of the game, once the final buzzer sounded, he was not shy about celebrating that first victory in his very first game this season.
Oh, sneaky play. Darumpan Apiro Vilanchay gets the bucket to fall and a foul.
Nice set play out of the baseline inbound.
Somebody fell asleep on the defense. That was Cheng Wei, I think.
Yeah, Cheng Wei, a bit slow, and he knew immediately that he was slow. Just look at that.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew he slipped up on that one. So, Aparong Vilamchay. Can he complete? Yes, he does. He completes the N1 play.
Vilamchay, he actually suffered a broken finger towards the late stretch of the season, and we thought he was out for the entire year. A quick recovery shows you what kind of fighter he is, and he's been playing in so many ABL seasons.
Martino goes inside. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Cheng to the other corner. Kenny Chen could not drop. Great defense by Mono. Here they are on the run. Morgan, Singletary. Oh, a little bit too much passing there for Mono. The counter steal. Narongpan. Baseball pass. Right. He wanted to hammer that one home. Could not get the handle, but he will go to the Chinese stripe to shoot two.
Bit of a sloppy sequence there by both teams, though.
Check out that pass by Darongpan. Malcolm White was ready to jump.
It's true, what a pass, and he got some help from the fans there from behind the baseline.
White goes 2 for 2. And don't look now, Mono making a run. Great recovery in the second period. And we will be back to close out the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Mono with a 3-point lead, 38-35. TK, what did the home team do to turn this thing around?
Just the defense there, 11 points, only 11 points by the Dreamers so far in this second quarter. They've just packed it down in the paint, and again, the spacing that they've done, that they've maintained in that half-court set has made it difficult for the Dreamers to get their points down low. Again, these mid-range jumpers that Tevin Glass hit there, I think the Vampire are going to live with that, but no easy baskets, no three-pointers. That's their mantra for defense.
A great pass once again by Travis, but Butterfingers for Malcolm White in that possession. He was left wide open. He was ready for the throwdown. You can see it. He was smiling when he lost that leather.
And you might not feel these right now when you're in the lead, but already 7 turnovers by the Mono Vampire. If they end up losing this game, they're gonna look back and say, "No, we shouldn't have lost those."
So you see here the defense by Mono. They're trapping Miller and letting other guys shoot the basketball.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job just double teaming him. Miller's doing a good job of passing out, but they just don't know what to do from there on out.
So that is the third foul on Michael Singletary. Tough luck. 1:39 remaining. That is third foul.
But again, the Mono Vampire, they've set up their defense to live with the other players getting the ball aside from Malcolm Miller. Whenever Miller gets the ball, whenever he puts it on the floor, they're quick to double team him, force him to pass it out. Miller's a good passer. He's going to pass it out to a rolling Artino, but it's been up to Malcolm White, Michael Singletary, and Travis to stop Artino, and they've done a good job. Still, again, Artino's only 2 for 10 so far in this game, so it's a good job done on defense by the Vampire.
Chen Shin Yen at the line. This is the first. And a split at the line for Chen. All tied up at 38. 1:38 remaining. A little bit of pressure defense by Formosa. Lish uses the screen. We go to Morgan. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Without Singletary, where will the shot come from? Comes from Lish. Short on his 3-point attempt. Does it so? Yes, wow. Nice steal. Sneaks up on glass.
This is such a wild card, Freddie Lish.
Nice spin and a hook shot by Malcolm White.
Right hook all day, Malcolm White. What a soft touch by the big man.
Yeah, that was a great steal by Freddie Lish. Setting up that play. So again, for Formosa, no shot coming from Malcolm Miller as he is denied by the Mono defense.
Yeah, and the Dreamers are making Mono Vampire defense's life easy. They're not moving away from the ball that much either as well.
Back to Travis inside. He is foul going up. Leading something to the referee.
I don't know if he's trying to make a case for that as a foul. It seems like it might be.
So it's not a foul?
Out of bounds instead. Yeah, it seems like
it's an out of bounds.
Yeah, he's trying to make his case. Won't get it this time.
Morgan off the pick. Cannot get a shot up. Travis looks up at the three. Closer look, and he knocks down the jumper.
That's his range. You don't know who Travis was talking to that time, but that jumper was enough of what he wanted to say.
Down to the last 11 seconds of this game. Miller looks up at the clock. They go to Artino. Spins. Fouled. 3.2 seconds left in the game.
But again, you gotta look into this halftime break. What will Gene Murray say about their offensive set? The Mono Vampire have been forcing into those double teams on Malcolm Miller. The ball has been going to Artino off of that pocket pass, and it's not working. Are you going to try to run something different, or are you going to still go to that and hope that Artino finds a way against the defense of Malcolm White? That's something that they've got to figure out during this halftime break. But despite the Mono Vampire controlling the momentum here in the second quarter, they're only down by 3. The Dreamers are only down by 3 points. There's still a lot of ball game to be played here.
Morgan could not get a shot up, and that will do it for the first 2 quarters of game number 2 of this quarterfinals matchup. The number 1 seed, Formosa Dreamers, fighting for their playoff lives against the number 8 Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Will we go to a game 3 or does it all end here in Thailand? It's 42-39 in favor of Mono Vampire. Welcome back to Stadium 29 in Nonthaburi, Thailand. This is game number 2 of the quarterfinals matchup between the Mono Vampire Basketball Club and the Formosa Dreamers. And at halftime, the score is 42-39 in favor of the home squad. TK, what do you think was the point of discussion for both of these teams?
Well, first of all, it doesn't really feel like only a 3-point lead for the Mono Vampire. They were controlling the latter part of that second quarter, but that just says about how much the Dreamers were able to stay in this game, just being able to chip in little by little while the other aspects of their game have been a bit down. But first of all, the credit for why Mono Vampire are in the lead, you have to go to their defense. As we were talking during the break, they've just done a good job of closing in on Malcolm Miller, just keeping the shots away from him and living with Will Artino either having to force a basket or passing out to Kenny Chin or Chen Chin-yen in the corner, and that's how their defense has been able to slow down the Formosa Dreamers. But on offense as well, Malcolm White of the Mono Vampire has come out doing a really good job. 14 points, 6 of 9 from the field. Just a great job for him, and he's probably feeling a bit bottled up from last game from that suspension.
So in case you've just joined us, again, this is game number 2. In game 1, it was an 83-80 win by the Mono Vampire. That's why they're up 1-0 in this series. One win away from barging into the semis. And no Tyler Lamb. You see there on your screens with wearing black shirt and jeans. He is out due to a hamstring injury. The two Malcolms, Malcolm Miller and Malcolm White, are back for game 2.
Yeah, but the perimeter defenders of the Mono Vampire have done a good job so far in keeping Malcolm Miller contained and not letting him get his shots up. As we were saying, he's only had 5 shots in this game. He's made 3, but only 5 attempts, and that's a good job by the Mono Vampire defense of keeping honest on him.
Tyler Lamb having a discussion with Romeo Travis. Lamb suffered a the injury late in the third period, so he is out. That's Coach Dean Murray. Can he pull off one more miracle for the Dreamers?
It's just up to the adjustments that he's going to come in the second half, just what he does on offense. Is he going to stick with Malcolm Miller starting the offense and figuring it out, or who will he turn to?
Third quarter on their way. Yo-Yo Sarmento on the call. And my partner, Sajitab TK Kosamboon, bringing you this game 2 action. A near steal there by Mono. Not a good start if you're Formosa. There is Miller. He got a shot up, but misses that opportunity.
Bit of a broken play there by the Dreamers. They've got to really run things more efficiently right now.
And one of the things also, something to look at, Singletary has 15 points, but he does have 3 fouls. That patented hook shot by White, that time is a miss though.
Finally missing there. Sartino with a slight sigh of relief.
Ball picked up by Singletary. He has Morgan on the wing. Oh, nice pass to White, and he is fouled by Miller.
So there it still seems like they really haven't changed their approach on offense. They're still going with Malcolm Miller passing out of those double teams, and he hasn't just been as crisp as he was in the first half, with 2 turnovers here already to start the second.
Now, if you're the Dreamers, you stop that fast break opportunity. But in game 1, the opposing team dropped 30 fast break points. Right now, Mono has, I believe, 10. So you think Coach Dean Murray and his team really talked about that over the past couple of days.
Yeah, but also it's because the Mono Vampire do not need to rely that much on the fast break attempt with Malcolm White down the paint, and especially without Tyler Lamb in this game.
Great point there, TK. Glass for 3. Not usually his shot. He expanded his range in that sequence. Travis. Mid-range. Jumper does not drop.
So again, both teams starting off a bit flat in the second half.
Kenny Chen. Rebound Glass. Back to Glass. Shot clock reads 10. Kenny Chen takes it closer. Wild shot. Does not drop. So a couple of misses here to start the third. Terry Singletary saves the possession of what was a wild shot attempt by Moses Morgan.
And the Dreamers are going to struggle if Kenny Chen cannot either make his long-range shots or get his points down in the paint. He's a third, fourth option that they really need to get going to open out opportunities for other guys.
Artino gets the bucket to drop. That is only his 3rd field goal. 3 out of 11, I believe. Morgan, top of the key. So bad possession here. Singletary still with the basketball. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Has to put it up. That was a... And now they're complaining that the ball should stay with the men in orange.
Everyone obviously not liking that call. And they're letting the refs hear that.
You have to check the replay. So that was passed out by Miller. But going back to that possession, the ball stayed too long on Singletary's hands and the possession was had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was forced by the Mono Vampire.
Glass splits the defense. Could not get the layup to fall.
That's been the story of the Dreamers' offense in this game.
So things have slowed down considerably scoring-wise. A total of 5 points only have been scored here in this third period.
And both teams trying to find other scoring options for their teams. Malcolm White's not really getting the touches. Michael Singletary's not dropping his shots.
And that time, Moses Morgan met by Malcolm Miller at the rim. Glass. Could not get it to go, but despite the poor offense, been great defense so far by both these teams.
Yeah, and both teams can play great defense, but they've been anchored by their offense so far in this season.
Last Chen. Kenny Chen gets the bucket to drop.
They're going to need a lot more of that, just getting in the open court. Kenny Chen, that's got to be a boost of confidence for him to just finally see the ball go through the basket.
Singletary. Denied by Artino.
Michael Singletary's got to watch out for that. You know he's an emotional player. He likes to pour it out against the refs, but sometimes it backfires. And in a close game like this, those are chances that you really don't want to take, especially with him already having 3 fouls.
Again, if he gets a technical, that counts as a personal foul also. Stolen by Miller. Miller on the breakaway. Aaron pass to Kenny Chen. Ball picked up by Lish. Singletary. Singletary, the second attempt. No, White is there.
That sequence, that was a sloppy basketball. A bad pass by Freddie Lish on the inbound, and another bad pass on the other end by Malcolm Miller.
Tevin Glass with the answer. So will the pace pick up now? These two teams finding their rhythm in the second half.
Martino and Malcolm White bowing down to the paint. These are two feisty guys as well.
And you know each of them are working the refs, pleading their cases.
And as the game is getting tight, Coach Tong brings in Nopon Sangtong, who is known to deal a little bit of his weight around as well, down low.
And without Malcolm White the last game, Saitong saw a couple of minutes. Also, unfortunately, got a couple of fouls as well. Morgan, a hand in his face, 3. Could not get it to drop. Battle for the rebound. Picked up by Dreamers. Here they are running. Kenny Chen, stop and pop. Three-pointers a no-go.
A rough night for Kenny Chen. Rough night for the Dreamers as a whole as well. Just nothing going down.
Denied there by Romeo Travis. Great defense. And once again, Mono is beating their case that the ball was stepped off by a guy in black.
With only 13 seconds left on the shot. What a play there by Chen Xinyan.
Chen Xinyan tried to sneak up on Darong Pan. I'm not sure.
I think the refs called a
double dribble, and as I was saying, I'm not sure that was the right play if you're Chen.
It seems like Dean Murray is not pleased as well.
Here he is. Malcolm Miller was going to pop out. I guess Chen was worried that he might be called for 5 seconds. Foul is called as Singletary was making his way through the hoop.
Singletary is a strong player. This is so difficult to stop once he decides to make his way towards the basket, as a timeout is called here by the Dreamers.
It's still a close game, folks. 47-45, midway point of the third. And this will be an action-packed last quarter and a half, folks. We will be back. So 2-point game, folks. 47-45. Halfway mark of the third. DK, for the first 5 minutes of this third quarter, the pace has slowed down considerably. What has been the main difference for either of these teams?
Well, it's not only the pace. The pace has slowed down a bit, but the teams are trying to speed it up. It's just that they've been doing it sloppily. So many turnovers for both sides. It's bad passes, bad attempts at passing, and that's really going to hurt both teams down the stretch.
So each possession counts. Of course, this is playoff basketball. Near steal there by Mono. Chen thought about the three. Pass inside to Ortino. Could not get the bucket to fall, and he will head to the line to shoot two. Sang Tong with the foul.
Ball's just not rolling Artino's way in this game, and his expression says it all. Another missed shot, but he'll get a chance to earn points at the line, and maybe that'll change things. As it's so cliche to say, but once you see the ball go through the basket, maybe that helps a bit more. He's not a shooter, but just getting the points up is going to be good for him.
And should this be Will Artino's final game this season, you know he'll have a tough night sleeping if he goes 4 for 20. But that's on his mind as he tries to will his team here.
He's had such a great season. You just don't want to see him go out like this. He's been a rock, solid performer for the Dreamers. Just want to see him pick it up towards the end of this game.
And here's White. Pasu Aprovilanchay picked up by Glass. Glass looking to see if he has teammates. Fouled by Darongpan.
Good defense there by Glass on the other end, standing his ground against Malcolm White, forcing him into a turnover. And again, it feels like the game has been in the Mono Vampire hands for the entire time, and that the Dreamers have been struggling so badly. But you look at the scoreboard, and they're only down by 2 points. They just need a couple of shots, maybe a 3 or 2 to go in, and you can regain control of the game.
Here's Glass. Short stab doesn't go, but gets his own miss. Putback though is good, so he ties the game. And to your point, TK, no big moment yet for Malcolm Miller or for Artino, but yet it is a tied ball game. Miller against Morgan. Miller drives inside. Malcolm Miller, there we go.
That's a big play indeed. Malcolm Miller being able to split the double team and getting a layup. That's going to start something for the Dreamers.
Glass, 17 points, 7 rebounds. He and the Formosa Dreamers are in survival mode. Again, they're down 0-1 in this playoff series. It's win or go home time. And they have a 2-point lead right now.
Yeah, and Tevin Glass, he's the leading scorer for the Formosa Dreamers right now. He's been shouldering their offense as Artino is struggling, and Malcolm Miller not really getting the opportunities that he's used to.
Singletary against Wu. We saw that matchup earlier. And out of bounds. Great defense by Wu.
Yeah, and Coach Dean Murray has been rotating defenders on Singletary from Wu. to Kenny Chen, to other guys, and maybe that's a strategy to wear him out.
Artino, the bang and the bucket. A beautiful feed there by Malcolm Miller.
Persistence is key for the Dreamers. They've been going to that all night, going it down the middle of the paint for most of the times. This is probably one of the first times that they've actually run a two-man game on the right side of the floor. Maybe that's opening up the opportunity for Artino to score a bit more.
So a sigh of relief there for Artino, but could not convert the free throw. White. Wow, but Travis is there.
Malcolm Miller there trying to draw an offensive charge. Quick feet by Malcolm White to just go around him and get a layup.
Miller, here's that pick and roll action. This time to Glass. Takes it closer. Artino, jumper. Too strong for Will Artino. Bound for the rebound. Tenacious rebound there by Chen. And he will pick up Freddie Lish.
Just the amount of jump ball calls that we've gotten into this game just shows how much both teams are hungry for the ball there. Sheng Wei and Freddie Lish just fighting for possession.
The biggest lead in this game was a 9-point lead by the Dreamers. Formosa in this, Mono, sorry, in this game, biggest lead was 6. So it's been a close game. Travis swings it over to Lish. Hesitates on the 3. Shot clock winding down. Morgan. Fadeaway jumper. Moses Morgan delivers.
Big shot there by Moses, because that was great defense by Jeff Wu on Singletary. And it forced Moses Morgan to that shot, and it falls down.
Last hook shot does not drop. A chance once again for Mono to take the lead. Oh, awful pass.
And both of these teams, just as they're trying to gain momentum, take the lead, it's just a sloppy turnover here. They're not only for the Mono Vampire, not only for Freddie Lish, but both teams have been guilty of this. And it's just killing the momentum for both sides.
By the looks of it, whichever team will take care of the basketball and execute, that could be the difference as we head to the fourth quarter. Chang, they go to the corner. Woo! Corner 3, no go. Rebound White. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Here's that matchup, Moses Morgan versus Chen. Travis though takes the 3. Rebound White. Freddie Lish draws the foul.
And that's the X factor right there for the Mono Vampire. Everyone getting closed out a little bit tighter. Freddie Lish just blows by to the basket.
So people forget Freddie Lish was one of the top dogs in the high-tech uniform.
Yeah,
along with Tyler Lamb.
and he had to shoulder a heavier load into the playoffs that year when Tyler Lamb suffered a hamstring injury, just like this one. So Freddie Lish is used to this kind of situation. Maybe he'll be stepping up here in the final portions of his game.
So minute 29 remaining. Freddie Lish gives his team a 2-point lead. Kenny Chen. Still no goal from that distance. Wu will try. Still a miss. So Formosa has had their chances on that possession.
And there's just nothing you can do. Those are good opportunities. Those are wide open shots. They're shooting only 36% from the floor. That's just not going to cut it. And you can't blame anything. They're moving the ball into the positions that they wanted. It's just a matter of what you've done prior to this game, practicing, owning your skills, and being able to make them come game time.
Game number 1, they shot 41% at home. Foul there against the Dreamers. Malcolm White will troop back to the line to shoot a pair. You know, TK, this being in a hostile environment, not in your home court, does that play a huge factor, especially in playoff basketball, with your shooting?
Well, definitely. We've seen that all season throughout the ABL. Most of the teams like Mono Vampire, teams like Formosa Dreamers, they've taken advantage of being at home, being in their usual environment. And it shows in the numbers that they've really performed well at their home court. The Formosa Dreamers, they were 9-2 at home. The Mono Vampire had an over 500 winning percentage at home. So it's a big factor, and that's why teams were fighting for those top 4 seeds to get home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs.
You know, as you mentioned, above 500, they are 7-6 at home, 4-9 on the road, but got that huge road victory in game number 1. And lest we forget, Mono was 2-10 at some point at the start of the season. But they made it work, and here they are, holding a 3-point lead against the number 1 seed Formosa Dreamers.
This is going to be a big possession for the Dreamers with 1 minute left in the third quarter. You got to make a statement, because going into the fourth quarter, you don't want to be down, whether how many points, whether it's 3, but that just affects how much on the mental side, just being able to tie it up or even take the lead. We'll see what they do here.
So you see there on your screens, both Artino and Glass on the bench. Coach Steve Murray trying to get his World Imports a little bit of breathing room as we head to the fourth.
And this is what we saw in the fourth quarter of the last game. Cheng Wei has been dribbling the ball way too much.
Loses the basketball there.
Yeah, it's another turnover. That's what got them. That's what lost them the game in game 1, and struggling here again in the third quarter.
About a 7-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Wild shot by Aparo Vilanchai. Here's Wu. It's Chen. They want the basketball with that man, Malcolm Miller, under 10 to work with. Miller uses the screen against 2 defenders. Really locked it down. Great defense by Bodo in that last possession. And now it is a 3-point lead, 55-52. One more quarter. Can Mono upset the number 1 seed team once again? Or will the Dreamers fight it in themselves to force a deciding game 3? One more quarter, and we will be back. One more quarter. Formosa Dreamers fighting for their playoff lives against the Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Yo-Yo Sarmenta on the call, together with my partner Sajatam TK Kosambun. TK, one more quarter. What are you looking at if you're the Formosa Dreamers?
Looking for more defense like that one, forcing Travis to an unforced error, and he's not pleased with that at all. The Dreamers got to pack it down on defense. But what you want more from the Dreamers right now is three-point shooting. They started the game 3 of 7 from downtown. They've missed 10 straight since, and Coach Murray, you got to wonder, is he going to pull Woo Sung Wei from the bench? He's a knockdown three-point shooter. Might give up some on defense, but those are the risks that probably have to take right now with the season on the line.
Pass. Chan. Pass. Oh, great defense by Mono. Mono read that all the way. And if you're Mono, you have a 3-point lead in this fourth quarter. What has been working for you so far?
The defense. You just got to keep on packing it, trust your game plan because it's been working so far. Just continue to force Malcolm Miller into tough plays. He might make some difficult shots, but that's not the trend that's been going this game. Just continue to pack it up down low and watch out for that spacing.
There's Morgan. As I was saying, no bucket yet here in the fourth quarter. Where would the offense come from? Wild pass, but Miller picks it up and he knocks it down.
The Formosa Dreamers taking in a huge breath of relief. Malcolm Miller with a difficult shot, but able to get it down low.
14 points so far. No, he can average more than that. He can put up more. A great defense by Mono so far, as you mentioned earlier. Travis, the dribble and the pull-up, no go.
Not a lot of ball movement there, a lot of dribbling by the Mono Vampire offense. And right there, Tevin Glass misses one at point blank range. You do not want to miss those.
Singletary. A great defense by Chen. Cannot believe it, there was no foul, but Glass flying inside for 2.
Making up for the missed opportunity earlier. And look, now they're back in the lead.
Mono has not scored in the fourth yet. But Travis changed all that with a sweet jumper top of the key.
You can't run away from Travis when he gets the ball at that position. He's just a knockdown jumper, and you got to read the scouting report, man. That's his range. That's his shot.
Eight points for Travis, 4 out of 13. So if Will Artino has had his struggles, so has Travis. So that's why we're in a close dogfight right now, 57-56. Roughly 3 minutes have passed in this fourth and final quarter. Miller, trapped. Artino, no.
And again, just forcing the Dreamers into difficult shots. They were quick to double Miller, force the ball to Artino. It's just a difficult shot by Artino.
And then a turnover on the other end. So a mixture of sloppy play and great defense.
Coach Stongdo did a good job of substituting Malcolm White and Singletary in and out, managing their fouls. They're coming into the fourth quarter with only 3.
Chen drives baseline. Picks up his dribble though. Artino, left-handed layup. It's a miss, asking for a foul.
It's a lid on the rim for the Dreamers. There's nothing falling in.
And you saw there a quick trap on Malcolm Miller. So that's what has been working so far for Mono. Singletary too strong on the 3. Then Chinyan. Go to Miller. Will the trap come? There's Lish helping out a bit. Artino. He will go to the line.
Nice aggressive drive there by Artino. Just once he gathered, he just held on to the ball for life.
But TK, in game number 1, the offense of the Dreamers slowed down, and especially without Malcolm Miller, they had a difficult time. Now with Miller in this last 6 minutes, that should be a big difference from game 1.
Yeah, but you've just got to credit how prepared Mono Vampire were coming in for Malcolm Miller out of the suspension. They really had this figured out how to slow him down, and it's worked out.
Miller so far 14 points on 9 shot attempts, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Miller though averages 22 a game. Morgan wide open, and he makes the defense pay.
Big shot once again by Moses Morgan. Remember that he had the go-away bucket in the previous game, giving a 3-point advantage.
Miller could not answer. Seven Glass with a rebound. Kenny Chen is open. Kenny Chen with the cold-blooded answer.
Wow, after missing 4 straight, that's a big needed bucket by Kenny Chen just to answer Freddie right back.
1 of 5 before that 3-point basket. The confidence has not wavered for Kenny Chen. Morgan drives inside to Travis. That's his shot. Does not get the shooter's bounce though. So the ball will go to the Dreamers. 60-60. It's a close ball game so far, and looks like it's going to be a close one also down the stretch. We will be back for more ABL playoff action. Back to the action, folks. Matchup, Singletary versus Glass.
You think this game would would go to the Dreamers' tendency, but Mono Vampires just been doing well, playing in a slow-paced, sloppy game.
Miller could not get that jumper to fall. Tie game, 4:30 remaining. Right. And he will go to the line. Something's got to give in this last 4 and 23.
Might be a good foul though. Malcolm White, only a 50% shooter from the line, able to give away a few of those fouls. We're already here in the last half of this of the fourth quarter.
That's the first to fall. 4 of 6 prior to that shot from the line is Malcolm White. It's 2 for 2.
Doing a good job there from the charity stripe. That's going to be important because if the game stays close, you can bet that the Dreamers are going to attack him there for those fouls late in the game.
Malcolm Miller, Tortino, Chen Xinyan versus Freddie Lish. Shot clock down to 5. Somebody has to put up a shot. Kenny Chen. And ball picked up by Freddie Lish.
Just unable to find that open shot. Chen Qingyan, he had a layup attempt there, but it's just too unselfish.
Spin by White, loses the leather. Glass inside for two.
Nice strong move there, and Michael Singletary had to back away a little bit, avoiding that fourth personal foul.
So tied ball game once again. 3:30 remaining. Lish will try a three.
That seems like a little bit ill-advised. You didn't really move the ball around that much. And in the game this tight, you really want everyone to get a touch a little bit of the ball.
Artino, left-hander won't go.
Still the struggle for Artino. He's going to look back at this game and just shake his head, just unable to get anything going on offense. But it's still a tight game. He has to play this throughout the final 3 minutes.
Singletary against Kenny Chen. Ball picked up by Miller.
Great defense by the Dreamers.
Miller, and one.
And that has got to hurt.
The bang and the bucket for Malcolm Miller. Has struggled offensively so far. Has not put up his usual numbers. But here he is in crunch time, delivering for Formosa.
You can't blame the defensive effort by Moses Morgan there. You have to credit him for running down there, but this foul is really going to hurt the Mono Vampire. Just a swinging play here.
And you're right, this could shift the momentum, but Miller does not get the free throw to go. So 2-point game. Morgan tries to answer. Too strong on his three. Lishido gets his team another possession. Singletary will try. And he will shoot two. Kenny Chen cannot believe that he was called for that foul.
Well, Kenny Chen had better not believe that Chen Qingyan, and I think it was Tevin Glass or Malcolm Miller, was not able to get that rebound, and Freddie just, the ball just came right into his hand, and that's an opportunity missed. And again, in a game this tight, these marginal errors, they're the ones that are going to hurt the most at the end of the final buzzer.
As we've been mentioning, a couple of guys have been defending Singletary, Jeff Wu, Kenny Chen. And so far, you think it has been working after Singletary's hot start?
Yeah, it's been working out. They've been able to stay in front of him a bit more. Mike's been a bit more reluctant of letting loose on those three-point shots. And once he starts driving, it's an easier job for the Dreamers defense to just collapse on him, double team on him, and put more pressure.
So 1-point game, everyone. 64-63 for Formosa. 2:24 remaining in this game. Malcolm White, Will Artino. These are the numbers for the two big men. And as we've been talking about in this coverage, Artino has not had the best of games.
Just a struggling for him. 4-16 from the field, 3 of 7 from the line. He's been doing a horse's job on defense, just staying in front of Malcolm White, getting those rebounds. But those misses on offense are what has really helped out the Dreamers this season, and it's hurting right now.
As we take a look at the percentages, so it's been a different kind of ball game compared to the first quarterfinals matchup. The name of the game has been defense. go to Miller. Met by two people. Kenny Chen. Oh, sees an opening. Kenny Chen with the left-handed layup. That's good.
Wow, Kenny Chen with a big time play.
What a move.
He's one of the best finishers in the ABL, and he just shows it right there.
We need to take a timeout. Dreamers up by 3. Last 2 minutes and 1 second remaining. Two minutes remaining. And what has been a defensive contest by these two proud teams. TK, last 2 minutes. What do each of these teams need to do?
Oh, right now, the Dreamers, they've got to lock down Michael Singletary. You just know that they're going to go to him. Or either Malcolm White, but I mean, Michael Singletary, he can start the offense as well. He's a playmaker as well. The Dreamers have really got to focus on locking down, and that's the job of Kenny Chen, who's made 2 big plays here down the clutch, that layup earlier, and the game-tying 3 at 60.
So under 2 minutes remaining. Mono cannot get the bucket, but White. A lot of attempts for Mono. None so far. Singletary though. Michael Singletary ties the game.
Well, the ball is just bouncing around. Singletary, his 5th triple of the game, and the time it matters most.
And you talked about it. Singletary is the guy that the Dreamers need to defend. He was left wide open there. So tie ball game. The crowd is up on their feet. Here we go. Artino met by 2 defenders. Artino. Rebound. Secured by Singletary. Down to the last minute. Tie ball game. Hold on to your seat, folks, because we got a good one here. Morgan. Travis, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Travis forces it up.
Great defense there by both Artino and Glass. And Romeo, he's not been having a great night. Should have gone to Singletary a bit more than that play.
Glass.
Wow.
He gets it to go. Tevin Glass gives the Dreamers a 2-point lead with 34 seconds remaining.
Break in case of an emergency. Tevin Glass, strong move to the basket.
And we will stay right with you here in the last 34 seconds as we take a quick timeout by Mono. And TK, did you like the last possession by the home team?
I feel like, again, they should have gone to Singletary or Malcolm White. They got that one there off a loose ball possession, but Travis Romeo looked to be forcing a little bit too much. He's not been having a good game, and it just backfired on the other end.
And that was that booming triple by Singletary. But on the other end, Glass. Up and in. Strong move by Tevin Glass. So last 34 seconds. Mono Vampire. What will they come up with? You have to ask. They should go to Singletary?
He's the guy who's hit 5 threes this game. It would be sensible to go to him, but Moses Morgan has knocked down 2 as well. Freddie Lish, you know he's a guy that can get on at any minute. So they have a couple of potentially good 3-point shooters on the floor. The Dreamers have just got to close out. And they've got to watch Malcolm White down low as well. Just a lot of options to go for the Vampire.
Here we go. Lish. The Singletary. He has 8 seconds on the shot clock. Singletary sees an opening. Travis for 3. Rebound. Secured by Lish. 20 seconds remaining in this ball game. Singletary to White. White loses the basketball.
Wow. And, that has got to hurt for the home fans.
So close to tying this ball game. But the Dreamers had beautiful stop right there. We will take a very quick break. 2-point game, 10.7 seconds remaining. Last 10.7 seconds. Dreamers, they have the basketball. All they have to do is just inbound. And if you're Mono, who do you need to foul?
That's a tough one, but tonight, Will Artino has just been struggling from the line. Only 3 of 7, I think. Let's check that again. Yeah, 3 of 7 from the line. Will Artino, he's the only guy that they should foul. Kevin Glass is 3 for 3. Malcolm Miller 3 for 4. Kenny Chen's 2 for 2 as well. So if the ball goes to Artino, just a hack away.
10.7 seconds remaining. Kenny Chen. We go to Glass. White kind of hesitated there before giving up that foul. So about 3 seconds tick off the clock. 4 fouls on White. That's why he was hesitating. He had 3 across his name.
But at this point, it doesn't really matter. You're at 7.6 seconds. You just gotta do something.
5-second violation. What a turn of events here.
I don't know.
That's 29.
That seems really quick. That seems so quick, but nonetheless, that's the call. Mono Vampire get a big shot here with 7.6 seconds. That's plenty of time to get a shot off.
Here we go, 7.6 seconds. Singletary for the win.
Wow.
He is fouled. And he will go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
Ooh, 2 big whistles, and that's 2 big calls by the refs. It's been a really good game throughout the whole way, throughout these 39 minutes and 57.2 seconds. You just don't want to see a game that's going to be dictated by these 2 whistles.
Coach Dean Murray is livid on the sidelines.
Michael Singletary is a great 3-point shooter, a great free throw shooter. 3 chances here to tie and to win the game. Just big calls by the refs.
We've seen crazier things happen here in this league, but that was one unique sequence. A 5-second violation called on Kenny Chen led to a 3-pointer, and Singletary knocks down the first. Now it's a 1-point game. The pressure is on. Can he tie it here? Yes, he does. Tied at 68. 1 more free throw. The crowd is going nuts.
Michael Singletary, big shot.
For the lead.
Whoa!
Oh, tip it is good. Tip it is good. Wow. Talk about a crazy sequence. We will have to check who knocked that one in. Whoa, what a turn of events here. There it is. That's a 2-point lead.
That's the playoffs for the Mono Vampire. Let's go back to last year. If you remember the series against Chongsun Kung Fu, we came back home, game was tied. Jason Brickman passed to Sam DeGuar for a buzzer-beating play, and look at this situation here, just clawing all the way back and getting a 2-point lead with only 2.8 seconds left on the clock. But 2.8 seconds, that's time to get a shot off. You can't let these emotions peak right now. You gotta play defense. Malcolm Miller can hit shots. That's plenty of time to get something off.
So to recap, what has been a crazy last couple of possessions, a 5-second violation called on the Dreamers. They were up by 2. Michael Singletary was fouled while taking a 3. He knocks down 2, misses the 3rd, but in a battle for the rebound, the putback was put in by the Dreamers. So that's why they have a 2-point lead with 2.8 seconds remaining. What a turnaround here in Thailand.
The thing about the Dreamers is you can't be deflated by it. As we mentioned, there's plenty of time to get a shot off. We just hope D. Murray has drawn a play to at least get a wide open shot to make this a game.
2.8 seconds. And a jump ball is called. Possession will go to Mono. That was a risky pass off the inbound.
Well, Malcolm Miller was your main option to knock a 3 or to get a good offensive shot off, and this is a turn of events here. 3 big whistles by the refs at the end of the game. 1.3 seconds with Mono Vampire getting the ball.
And that is a quick foul. There's still time on the clock. Will the refs give the free throws? And I guess that will do it.
Oh yeah, they're
70-68. Mono Vampire has slayed the number 1 seeded team. A great gutsy performance by the Mono Vampire Basketball Club.
And yeah, they've done a heck of a job here throughout the entire game, locking it down on defense, making life difficult for Will Artino, who had only 4 or 17 from the field. They were able to claw their way back, just defying the odds. They were down by 3 points there in the final seconds of the game. Fans are going wild here in Thailand, as you see there. 70-68, Mono Vampire sweep the Formosa Dreamers, make it to the next round.
And that will do it. Your number 8 seed, 70-68 win by Mono Vampire Basketball Club. That was a crazy last 12 seconds of the ball game. As we see some of the highlights, CK, aside from that crazy sequence down the stretch, what happened that led to this incredible Mono win?
Again, you just gotta keep on crediting the Mono Vampire defense. They made it difficult for Malcolm Miller. They made it difficult for Will Artino. They just came in this game prepared to do what they needed to do on the defensive end, and it paid off.
An historic moment here in Stadium 29. The number 8 seed, Mono Vampire Basketball Club, defeating the number 1 seed, Formosa Dreamers. Remember, at one point they were 2-10, out of the playoff picture, out of the conversation of a possible finals return. But through it all, they clawed their way back. An incredible run towards the end of the regular season. Put themselves in a position to win. Great Game 1 victory. Followed it up with a brilliant fourth quarter here in Game 2 to get this win. TK, I know we're a bit stunned. First of all, we thought there was a foul on the end there, but apparently the refs said play on. It was the final whistle.
Yeah, but in the end, it was a great game, great effort by both teams, just bringing it all out, playoff experience, playoff atmosphere. This is what we wanted, and fortunately, it comes to an end here in the quarterfinals for the Dreamers. They had a run, a great season, finishing at the #1 seed. It comes to a close, and the Mono Vampires' miracle comeback season continues into the semifinals.
So let's try to recap that crazy sequence. So Seven Glass gives Formosa the lead. We saw that. We saw him give the lead 68 to 66. And then a couple of possessions later, with Kenny Chan with the basketball, he was called for a 5-second violation. Moments after that, Singletary was fouled while taking a three, knocks down 2 free throws, misses the third, but a putback by Romeo Travis gives them a 2-point lead. And on the other end, a jump ball was called on Formosa. Great defense by Travis.